Welcome, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. In the U.S., Memorial Day weekend marks the beginning of summer, and so to celebrate, I thought I would create a summer quilt that incorporates a new fabric collection from Northcott Fabrics, along with one of the new blocks in the EQ8 library. Okay, I'm going to create a new project, so I will click on the new project icon, and I'm going to label this Summer Shades, and I will select OK. And I'm going to start by bringing in a fabric collection. So I'm going to do a search fabric swatches, and I recently received the EQ Stash online collection for the spring, which has a lot of fun new collections. And so I searched through these, and I decided on Northcott Mermaid Wishes. And so I selected that. I'm going to do a select all fabrics, add to sketchbook, and close. Now I'm going to go back to the home screen, do a search for block patterns, and for this one I'm going to go into the contemporary applique. I'm going to scroll down to season summer, and I decided I wanted to use the sunglasses, and I'm going to select edit to the block work table. Now the reason I am going to edit that is I don't want the background block, and I would probably like to have a block that's about half as high as this one. So I am going to go to the Applique tab, and I'm going to use the pick tool, and I'm going to drag a box around the entire applique shape. Now once I've done that, I'm going to go up to the menu toolbar and select Edit, Copy. And I'm going to make a note of the size of the patch. So the width is 4.782 and the height is 1.457, and it is important to remember that or jot that down. So then I'm going to do a new block, Applique Motif. And I'm going to go back to the Edit bar in the menu toolbar, and now the paste should be an option, and that means it's a darker black, and I'm going to select that. And now I'm going to change the block height. So I had 6, I'm going to change it to 3. When I do that, however, it resizes my motif, which is why I had you remember the number. So what I'm going to do is go and change the height to 1.457. And now everything looks good. I can, with my pick tool, select everything and select center in block. And I'm ready to go to the color tab. And I am going to color this block. And I'm going to add this to the project sketchbook. Now I'm going to go to the work table, and I'm going to create a new quilt. So it's on New Quilt, Horizontal, and in the layout I'm going to create a quilt that is 1 by 1. And I'm going to change the size to 16 inches. Then I'm going to go to the Border tab, and I'm going to make the first border a 1/2 inch. Now the lock size adjustment is set to all, and I can just click on the slide just to the left of the slider bar. And if I can't get there, I can just move that slider bar so it's at 0.5. Now I'm going to add a second border, and I think I'm going to try 3 inches for that one. So I'll type in 3, click on the slider bar, and then I'm going to add a third border, and I'm going to make that my binding. So I'm just going to go ahead and make that a 1/4 inch. So now I'm ready to go to the Design tab. And I am going to go to the Fabric Tools, and I'm going to color the background, and I'm going to also color the borders. And I can use the Control or the Command key to do all 4 sides of the borders at once. And I can also rotate the fabric because this is sort of a directional print. And then I am going to go to layer 2 because layer 2 is where we can add motifs. So I'm going to go to the block tools, do a set block. I need to go to the motifs tab, and I'm going to drag that sunglasses onto the workspace. Now I'm going to use my adjust tool, and the only thing I want to do is rotate. Now I can change the block rotation, but I can also use the control or the command key on my keyboard while I click on the center of this. Now when I go and I'm at a corner, notice I've got a little circle in there, and that means I have the option to freeform sort of rotate that block. So once I've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and continue to do some copy and paste and make some other copies of these sunglasses. Now I'm also going to go ahead and do some changes in coloration. So I'm going to zoom in, and what I decided is rather than using the same pink for the back of the sunglasses, I'm going to create a complementary color. So I'm going to go to the fabric tools. So I'm going to select the eyedropper tool, and I am going to select the color eyedropper. So when I click on that fabric, it's going to find a matching color, and it's going to basically, I think, use like the average value in this this fabric. So once I have selected that, I can use my paintbrush and recolor those two edges. Now I'm going to repeat the process, and I'm going to color the remaining sunglasses. And I'm going to repeat the process for the other parts of each of the sunglasses. So eyedropper tool, make sure color eyedropper is on, and then I'm going to color that. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back to the block tools, use the adjust, and again with that controller command key, I'm just going to play with different rotations of these glasses. And so once I have my quilt done, I can add it to the project sketchbook. Thanks so much for watching. For additional tips and techniques, please subscribe to my weekly newsletter at www.onpointquilter.com. And while you are there, check out my latest class offerings for my Techno Quilters Membership Studio program.